Okay guys, so I'm going to do this video to kind of answer some of the questions I've been getting on these blocks. I've got them up on eBay now so that you guys could mail order the thing, because it was a real big hit for our local customers, but I think it's not necessarily clear to you guys what it is for yet. So this was kind of born out of our long range rifle kits that we were selling to guys so they could build their own. With these stocks especially, because they're V-bedded, and you don't have to do any glass bedding to them to seat the action properly. The problem we were having is the barreled actions were walking forward because this recoil lug area is really generous. And it's not a knock on Magpul. Magpul doesn't know exactly what you're building this for. So when they build these stocks to fit pretty much everything, that means if you've got a standard 3/16 recoil lug for a factory gunner, that's what you've purchased for your aftermarket set, that, you know, this is way too big. It's about 400 thou, so it's really huge. So even if you got a 1/4 inch recoil lug or thicker, you know, you're probably going to have to do something to keep that barreled action from walking forward in the stock. The idea here is for the kit guns that we've been selling locally, and maybe you guys can understand it, is you buy a true to action and then you buy a rimage barrel. Usually in that setup you're not going to get the recoil lug unless you buy the complete kit, but you can just buy a 3/16 recoil lug, and especially right now, you know, 6.5 Creedmoor is the hot one, and so you can just get a standard 3/16 recoil lug, which is totally sufficient for that. And you know, all the bits and pieces, the trigger guard and the magazines and all that. And now you can just assemble your rifle yourself, and that was working pretty good, except for the fact that these barreled actions were walking forward, and the first shot out of a string was often kind of a wild one, because that action had to move back and seat up against the bedding here. So by putting this block in, that really eliminated a lot of those problems. And it's just as simple as just taking the glue out and gluing the surface of the block that sits up against the front edge of the recoil lug area, and then assembling your gun. As long as you don't get cyanoacrylate or super glue all over the surface that touches the recoil lug, it's going to come in and out just fine. So I'll go ahead and stick this one in here so you guys can see the how tight this is. And so if I try and move that barreled action forward or back, I'm not really getting any slop there at all. And of course the action screws and stuff aren't in, so it's just that block that's locating that. And you can see what a good job that does. So, you know, it's just as simple as flipping it over and putting this trigger guard and the 2 screws on, and you're pretty much done. You don't have to do anything else to the rifle, and that should be very, very stable for you. We haven't had any complaints since we came up with this block as a solution. So hopefully that clears up the questions and you guys understand better what it's for. And if you have any questions on any of this stuff, let me know. You know, true to actions are available. I've got them for sale. You can get them on Gunbroker and places like that. The rimage barrel, you can get a few of them. I'm going to stock the 6.5 Creedmoor barrels just because they're getting so popular. So they'll just be ready and available when you guys want to buy them. If you want anything different than the standard setup, which is a 1-inch bull barrel, that fits this stock and many others pretty well. And then you can also get different lengths and crowns and all that stuff. But right now I'm just going with the standard target crown and 26-inch length, and that seems to be what guys like. So if you have any more questions or would like to see something else that I haven't included, let me know. Thanks, guys.